I'm delighted to be joined by Fabio Wardley. You've got a massive fight coming up against Joseph Parker. I think we're all looking forward to it. And we all know you're a talented boxer, but it looks like you're a talented runner too, because I've just seen a clip of you sprinting around the TalkSport studio after Jimmy Bullard.
Yeah, it was good. That one was it was a little while ago when I think Jim was filling in for some of the boys at TalkSport, but it's always funny whenever he's around. He's always a good laugh.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was pretty impressive from the pair of you. But talking about this Joseph Parker fight, obviously a massive one for you. Joseph Parker, a very skilled operator, but I'm assuming you think you're going to land that massive right hand on him.
Yeah, look, of course. There's no getting away from how experienced he is. He's been in the game for a very long time, former world champion as well. So he's been to the heights of the sport, and obviously he's trying to climb his way back there and get to the pinnacle again. But I'm in the way. I'm on the same journey as well, and I do wholeheartedly believe I've got what it takes to beat him. Whether look, everyone's obviously making a lot to the power I have in both hands, and that is definitely a factor of this fight as well. But I can box very cleanly as well and come through on that kind of win as well. So it's just about piecing together the right bits on the night.
100%. You're getting better and better and better with every single fight, beating better opponents, whether it be Fraser Clark or Justis Huni, who's a fantastic operator. Can you tell me about that moment you landed that punch on Huni? Because he's obviously a tremendous amateur, renowned for his skills, but you managed to finish him off.
Yeah, look, this is obviously heavyweight boxing, so one punch does or can always change things. It can just turn the tide of things, and that's what happened in that fight. There was a lot of things not going my way. Obviously, he's a like you said there, he's a very good, very skilled operator, very good with his feet on the in and out. He's good with his hands, quick hand movement as well. So he had a lot of kind of different things for me to try and figure out on the night. And as I was working through those and kind of figuring out things as I went along. I was falling behind on the scorecards a bit and things weren't going my way. But you've always got to have that kind of confidence, that faith in yourself that things will turn as long as you stick to the plan, keep things going, stay on top, then you can keep it moving. And yeah, landed a big right hand and got him out of there.
100%. I know that you'll obviously have faith that you're going to beat Joseph Parker, and that could potentially unlock a fight with Oleksandr Usyk, which would be absolutely massive for you. What would your game plan be to beat Alexander? Because he's obviously an amazing fighter.
Yeah, look, he's a generational talent. He's a very special fighter. Obviously conquered the cruiserweight division, stepped up, conquered the heavyweight division. So he is very much the cream of the crop, the top of the table. So between me and the team, we're gonna have to kind of pull out all the stops and come up with something fantastic. But I think I think there are holes there. Don't get me wrong; they're not the easiest to exploit. There's no getting around it. He's a very great operator and a great fighter. So although you maybe have to see some gaps or see some holes and things, exploiting them in the fight on the night will be a different question entirely. But I have whole faith in me and my team. We could pull off an upset like that.
Absolutely. And then looking back through your journey through boxing, it's been a little bit unorthodox, obviously, starting with the white collar background. Can you tell me about those white collar fights, what you did to those poor guys? Because they sign up, they do 10 weeks of training, then they ended up in the ring with you. So I feel very sorry for them.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It's funny when you pair them two things together because people always trying to picture the fighter that is me now and kind of jumping into the ring with those white collar guys back then, and that wasn't the case. Don't get me wrong. Back in the day, I was very green, very novicey. Some of them white collar fights, even I look back on myself and cringe at a bit because just to see kind of how gangly I was and how things just there was no flow to anything. It was all a bit weird and awkward. But yeah, back in those days, it was great. I was finding my way and also finding yourself as a boxer and kind of feeling where you fit into and what kind of rhythm, pattern, style, however you want to call it, that suits you and your skill sets. So it's quite a good experience to really find yourself and settle into, okay, this is me as a boxer. I like doing this. This works well for me. I've got these attributes. They work well in this kind of style and just kind of trial and error in it and picking pieces. And you're almost kind of piecing together or building your own kind of fighter for yourself.
100%. And you get better and better and better. You end up becoming a professional boxer. You meet Dillian Whyte. Can you tell me what that introduction was like and what the sparring sessions between you and Dillian were like?
Yeah, Jill, he's a fantastic character. He was great and he's done a tremendous amount for me in my boxing career. He was someone I would spar regularly, to be honest. He was asking me to come down the gym a lot. And we just built a relationship from there and we just built a friendship over time and we'd train and spar and spend a bit of time together and do this, that, and the other. And it just built over time. And then it came to a point where I found myself without representation or a manager at that point. And I went to him as a friend and just said, look, I'm a bit kind of open ended at the moment. I just want some advice. And I'm looking for my next kind of manager. Who's a good guy to go with? You've been in the game a while. I trust your advice, kind of thing. And after having some back and forth and some conversations, he actually said, you know what? Let's swap this whole idea. How about you sign with me? I'll take you under my wing. I'll kind of guide your career, and I'll do the best for you possible, and we'll sort this out and get it done properly. And yeah, I guess the rest is history from there onwards. We just stuck shoulder to shoulder, head down, and kept things moving.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, it's great to see how passionate you are about boxing. I know you're passionate about football too. And I also know you like food because you're a massive Five Guys fan, aren't you? What's your order from Five Guys?
Yeah, the usual I'll go to is a couple of bacon double cheeseburgers, bit of mayonnaise, hot sauce, maybe some onions in there as well, and then a large Cajun fries as well, and probably a milkshake as well. But all of that is off camp. That's not in camp fab, unfortunately. So 2 or 3 weeks away, I'll be getting down there and getting an order in.
Yeah, you can treat yourself to a Five Guys after you get the victory over Joseph Parker. And who knows, maybe you can cook yourself because I've seen you doing a bit with Willy Cook. What was that cooking experience like?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I think we went to London. We tried out a proper old English. I think maybe the oldest one around. Pie and mash shops. I think I had a try on one of the jelly eels, which 100% not for me, not one for me. And then we went to a pizzeria and started making up our own pizza and stuff. So we had a good laugh. He's a great guy.
Yeah, 100%. And now you've got this partnership with Mirafit. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, look, they're a fantastic brand. Fantastic to be partnered with because obviously, alongside with my boxing, there's a large proportion of my training that isn't boxing. It is strength and conditioning, working on different bits and strengthening my body in different ways. And they have a bunch of different equipment, apparatus, different ways we can make that kind of transition of things a bit easier as well. That things are more molded to certain types of training that we're doing. So they're a fantastic brand to be partnered with. They've got some fantastic equipment. It's really great, solid, durable. Someone like me, big guy throwing around big weights, you got to make sure they're holding together nice and strong. So yeah, it's been great since we've been together.
Yeah, definitely. We talked all about your journey from the white collar to chasing Jimmy Bullard to knocking out Justis Huni. What do you think is the craziest story you've had from your boxing career?
Uh, I don't know. There's when I look back on things, I've done quite a few kind of wild things. There's been some wild moments in my career. I don't know. Maybe one of the ones that very standout to me was just a bit of a crazy, surreal experience in a sense was when I turned up a number of years ago. First time going abroad as a sparring partner for Oleksandr and his training camp, and I turned up to his training facility in Ukraine. Hopped out of the car, and just to the left of me, there was just two bears just there in a pen to the side of me, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And I was trying to speak to the driver who didn't really speak too much English, and I was trying to say to him, I was like, "Mate, there's just bears there," and he was like, "Yeah, bears." And I'm like, "Why are you doing it so casually? There's just bears there." And he's like, "Yeah, bears." And I'm like, "Why?" So yeah, that was probably one that's pretty stand out to me.
Who's scarier, Alexander or the Bears?
Well, I don't know. It's a tough one. That's a tough one. That maybe Usyk. I don't know. In the ring, definitely Usyk. Outside, he's a true gent.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Fabio, thank you so much for giving me some time. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the luck in the world for the fight with Joseph. But before I let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Just look, thank you to everyone that's already bought a ticket, that's tuning in on the night. If you haven't, please grab one. It's gonna be entertaining. With me, obviously, you always know what you get in my fights. There's gonna be drama, there's gonna be thrills, and this one's gonna be no different.